Hey guys, it's Krishna, and today I want to share with you several things that you want to avoid when you are going through the loan process, particularly after that pre-qualification is done. Okay, and someone tells you, a loan officer says, hey, yes, you can buy a house based on what we're seeing here. So you want to avoid these things I'm going to go over. At the end, I have kind of a funny but sad story to share with you in one example, so stick around. Okay, so the first thing you want to avoid is depositing large sums of cash into your bank account. You know, if you're kind of old school and you've got a mattress full of money, before you even get started, talk to your loan officer. Say, hey, I've got all this money. I've been saving it for 20 years, or whatever. How do I go about getting this legitimized into my account so that I can use it for the purchase? But once you've been pre-qualified, you want to avoid just doing that without consulting your loan officer. Okay. The next thing you want to avoid doing is do not make large purchases. I know no one likes to be told what to do, but when it comes to buying a house, everybody involved wants to see the transaction move forward successfully. So don't make any large purchases, even if it's furniture, appliances, things that make sense that you're going to need for the home purchase. My old mentor told me, Krishna, make sure you tell your clients, do not even buy a stick of furniture until you hear those magic words, closed and funded. Okay, so put off large purchases, cars, etc. It just makes you, it puts up a red flag in your file if you take out new debt to your income. The next thing that you want to avoid doing is co-signing for anyone. If you have a nephew or a cousin, somebody, loved one that needs help getting a car, you really want to avoid co-signing. That can damage the whole transaction and derail it, because even though they may be technically responsible for making those payments and morally responsible for making those payments, you are still on the hook as someone that is also responsible. If they don't make the payments, you're going to become responsible, so they have to count that against you in the home loan process. The next thing here is switching bank accounts. Quite often they can't even really do a loan without you having a bank account. I've seen several clients have to open up bank accounts in order to even go through the process, but you really want to avoid switching bank accounts. They go look at your transaction history, they look at how many times you've maybe been in the negative. You obviously want to not be in the negative in your bank account, so that all that stuff kind of adds up in their decision to give you a loan. So do not switch bank accounts, especially if you're already in the process of buying. The next one is do not apply for new credit. Applying for new credit is going to cause a hard inquiry. It's going to open up a new line of credit. If you're going to get a credit card or a car loan, something like that, that can definitely kill your deal, especially if your credit is towards the lower end of the spectrum, and it's going to eat into your debt to income ratio. So you want to avoid applying for new credit until after you're done purchasing your home. Do not close any accounts. I've seen this I don't know how many times, 100 times, people call and say, hey, I'm ready to buy a house, I paid off all these credit cards, and I shut them down yesterday. That is going to wreck your credit. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but you want those credit lines open. So if you pay it off, I myself have several cards that have maybe one account attached to it that is on auto pay. They really almost have a zero balance except for that one payment. Maybe it's 15 bucks, 10 bucks, whatever. I just auto pay it. It keeps that credit line open. I recommend you do the same thing. Don't cancel any lines of credit. And the last one is really that crazy story. I was at a home inspection here in Universal City, and my home inspector shared with me that he went to an inspection this year, and he gotten his inspection going and performed. Only one of the principals was there, or buyers was there, and the other buyer came later when the inspection was just about over, and he was about to collect his payment, and she came in elated, and relieved. I finally quit that job. So the inspector moved quickly to make sure he got his payment, and the realtor showed up, the other realtor showed up, and he got his payment, and the home buyer, still relieved, told her realtor, hey, I got rid of that job that was giving me so much trouble. And of course the realtor just lost, their minds, and said, hey, we don't need an inspection. And my inspector, he said, I know, well, you have an inspection. Unfortunately, he'd already spent his time and energy and blocked off the inspection and done his work. So he knew right off the bat when she came in elated about quitting her job, that they were no longer going to be qualified to buy the house. So do not quit your job until you have those final words closed and funded. So guys, I hope that helps you out a little bit in your quest for home ownership. Let me know in the comments what you think, and see you guys on the next video.